Plant these 10 types of trees around your coop, and you will save up to $600 on chicken feed every year. At the same time, you'll cut down 80% of your daily cleaning and feeding time. Your flock will serve themselves within a natural food system, growing quickly and staying incredibly healthy. In this video, I will provide a detailed guide on how to plant and arrange these 10 species to create a self-sustaining chicken forage system that lasts forever. Every week, I share grounded insights on organic gardening and intentional living. Hit subscribe to ensure you're getting authentic, earth-first advice you can actually trust, straight to your feed. To build this system, I will classify the plants into 3 main functional groups, starting with the high-protein superfoods group. To completely replace industrial soybean meal or fish meal as a protein source for chickens, azolla must be mentioned first. This miraculous aquatic plant can double its biomass in less than 5 days without requiring a single inch of soil. With a crude protein content of up to 35%, a full profile of essential amino acids, and particularly vitamin B12, azolla is an invaluable gift for a chicken's digestive system. You only need a small body of water and a bit of well-composted manure to enjoy a daily harvest. Next is the sweet potato leaf. It can reach a protein level of nearly 40%, making it a formidable rival to expensive soybeans. Chickens especially love the sweetness of sweet potato leaves, and their ability to regenerate after every pruning ensures a supply that never runs dry. If you live in an arid region, moringa is your lifesaver. Moringa leaves contain 4 times the calcium of milk and far more vitamin A than carrots. The protein content in moringa leaves reaches 27%, helping chickens develop sturdy skeletal structures and glossy feathers. Rounding out this group is comfrey, a plant with a root system that reaches up to 3 meters deep to extract precious minerals that other plants cannot access. With a lifespan of over 20 years, comfrey provides not only protein, but also an abundance of calcium and potassium, ensuring your chicken's eggshells remain thick, strong, and never crack prematurely. The second group consists of leafy greens and cold hardy plants. When the first cold winds of the season arrive, most traditional gardens begin to wither, leaving a significant void in the chicken's diet. The greatest challenge for any natural poultry keeper is maintaining a source of fresh vitamins when the ground freezes. However, if we know how to select warriors that can withstand sub-zero temperatures, your flock will never have to face a chlorophyll deficiency. The top name on this list is tree collards. Far different from fragile, short-term brassicas, tree collards grow tall like an actual tree, reaching up to 2 meters and standing firm for over a decade. Even when frost blankets the ground in white, its foliage retains its crispness and rich, sweet flavor. Owning a few tree collard plants in your garden is like establishing a sustainable nutrient station, helping chickens maintain the vibrant yellow pigment in their legs and bright red combs, even in the depths of a harsh winter. Following that strength is the alliance of the brassica family, including kale and Brussels sprouts. These are unique plants because they only truly reach their nutritional peak after experiencing the first frosts. Low temperatures stimulate the plants to convert starches into sugars, making the leaves more appealing to the flock than ever before. Their presence in the garden forms a solid immune defense, providing massive amounts of vitamin C and antioxidants to help your poultry resist the respiratory diseases common during the cold season. But a natural food system does not only exist in the upper tiers, it lies right beneath the chicken's feet as well. This is why you need to sow clover seeds across all the pathways. Clover acts as a multi-purpose green carpet. It fixes nitrogen to nourish the soil while serving as an abundant source of green protein. More importantly, this carpet functions as a hotel for countless small insects, allowing chickens to exercise their scratching instincts and stay active to generate body heat. Finally, I want to mention a plant that many often avoid due to its stinging hairs, the stinging nettle. Do not let its prickly appearance deceive you, as nettle is actually a treasure trove of iron and protein. Once dried or finely chopped to neutralize the sting, nettle becomes an incredibly potent supplement. In folk wisdom, this is considered a secret technique to stimulate consistent egg laying and ensure beautiful eggshell color, even when sunlight becomes scarce. By combining these cold, hardy species, you are not just feeding your flock. You are creating a resilient life cycle that defies the harshest laws of nature. Finally, we come to the energy and hydration group. A protein-only diet is insufficient, as chickens require energy to burn for fuel and to keep their bodies warm. To solve this problem sustainably, without relying on purchased corn or grains, we need a solution called amaranth. During the scorching summer months when other plants begin to wither, amaranth still thrives with its succulent foliage. This is the time to utilize the fresh leaves to provide moisture and cooling for the flock. However, the real magic begins when autumn arrives. Instead of harvesting everything, you should let the amaranth plants flower and go to seed. These vibrant plumes contain millions of tiny seeds, which serve as a concentrated source of starch and plant-based fats. Amaranth seeds possess a higher nutritional value than both wheat and corn, helping chickens quickly accumulate a layer of subcutaneous fat. This fat layer acts as a natural overcoat, allowing them to burn energy to stay warm when temperatures plummet, ensuring the chickens do not lose weight or stop laying eggs due to the extreme cold. In tandem with heat retention, another often overlooked challenge is the issue of hydration and digestive support. Imagine stifling summer days or winter mornings when the water troughs are completely frozen. Your flock would fall into a state of severe water deprivation. This is when the banana tree, a seemingly ordinary plant, becomes the savior of the entire farm. The banana tree is not only an excellent source of potassium and fiber, but it also functions as a mobile, biological water station. Chopped banana stalks contain a volume of pure water filtered through the plant's root system, helping chickens replenish moisture directly into their digestive tracts without needing to drink too much from the troughs. Beyond that, the natural tannins in the banana sap also help cleanse the intestines, assisting in the elimination of mild parasites and preventing diarrhea. More importantly, providing banana stalks and leaves helps resolve a distressing psychological issue in poultry farming: feather pecking. When chickens have a large volume of fiber to forage and consume, they feel full longer and experience less stress. This creates a calm and harmonious flock, allowing them to devote all their energy to growth and production instead of wasting it on internal conflicts. The skillful combination of energy from amaranth seeds and hydration from banana trees is the key to maintaining the internal balance of your ecosystem, regardless of the harsh weather outside. Once you have these 10 types of plants, instead of planting them in flat, conventional rows like vegetables, you should cultivate them in a layered canopy system. Take advantage of everything from tall woody trees to low shrubs and ground cover to transform every square meter into a massive food forest. I have created a detailed video on how to build a 7-layer food forest. If you haven't watched it yet, please save it for later. It provides a precise zonal layout for every layer, from canopy trees to root crops, helping you design your food forest scientifically before introducing poultry for grazing. Once you have the planning map in hand, begin to bring it to life. At the highest canopy of the forest, plant woody trees such as mulberry or chestnut. Mulberry not only provides shade, but is also an endless source of free sugar and vitamins. When the fruit is ripe, it falls naturally like a rain of delicacies, inviting the flock to feast without requiring any maintenance effort. Meanwhile, the chestnut tree acts as a strategic reserve for autumn, providing a highly concentrated source of plant-based fats for the chickens to accumulate energy. In the lower shrub layer, fill the space with berries like raspberries or black currants. These low canopies are not only a safe haven for chickens from birds of prey, but the clusters of fruit hanging close to the ground also serve as an excellent source of antioxidants, allowing the chickens to harvest freely according to their natural foraging instincts. However, we all know that chickens are omnivores. A strictly plant-based diet will never satisfy the massive protein demand required to maintain energy and produce high-quality eggs. Therefore, I suggest you consider raising earthworms or black soldier fly larvae. For black soldier flies, you should design smart rearing troughs with a 30-degree slope to exploit their natural instinct to find a dry place to pupate. At that point, the larvae will crawl out of the trough and fall directly to where the flock is waiting. With a nutritional content of up to 40% protein and 30% fat, They help chickens grow incredibly fast and produce deep orange egg yolks that are extremely nutrient-rich. Additionally, if your farm has an available source of animal manure or leaf mold, take advantage of it to raise earthworms to turn waste into natural fertilizer for the food forest, while simultaneously creating a highly digestible protein source for chicks or chickens in the molting stage. You can also fully utilize resources already available in nature, such as earthworms, crickets, or local insects. If you feel confident, let the chickens forage freely in the garden, but be cautious because if you're not careful, they might dig up the young saplings you have just planted. To make the system safer, you should set up indigenous food traps by spreading old cardboard sheets or layers of damp straw on the ground in the corners of the garden. After a few days, the moisture underneath will attract thousands of insects to take shelter. At this point, your job is simply to flip the traps over each morning so the flock can enjoy a fresh protein buffet without damaging the crops. A true natural feed system cannot be considered complete without the final link, the waste management and energy regeneration phase. It is time for us to completely transform how we perceive chicken manure and organic waste. Do not view them as a burden to be cleaned every day. Instead, consider your flock as mobile, biological engineers and decomposers. To operate this factory, we will apply a technique from ecological agriculture, the deep litter system. Instead of the exhausting task of sweeping a bare coop floor, you should spread a layer of organic material at least 20 to 30 centimeters thick, consisting of wood chips, straw, dried leaves, or rice husks. When the chickens deposit manure onto this bedding, the combination of nitrogen in the manure and carbon in the straw activates an on-site hot composting process. This decomposition process produces no foul odors if you maintain the proper balance. On the contrary, it generates a steady amount of thermal energy. On freezing winter nights, this deep litter acts like a massive electric blanket, radiating heat from the ground up, warming the chickens' feet and bodies naturally without costing a single penny in electricity. However, the value of the deep litter system does not stop at heat generation. The key point lies within the heart of that thick bedding, where a rich microbial ecosystem and small larvae begin to thrive. The chickens will spend hours every day performing their natural scratching instincts. This action inadvertently helps turn and mix the manure for faster decomposition, while providing the birds with an incredibly valuable supplementary food source from microorganisms and yeasts. More importantly, exposure to the beneficial microflora within the litter helps the chickens build a steel immune system. They absorb B-group vitamins produced during the fermentation process, along with probiotics that help balance the digestive system, preventing intestinal diseases without the need for antibiotics. This is how we turn waste into an asset and transform a tiring cleaning chore into a source of nutrition and health for the flock. When you see your chickens busily scratching through the damp straw with excitement, that is when you know your self-sufficient system is operating at its absolute peak. To help everyone begin building a self-sufficient poultry food system as easily as possible, I have prepared a seasonal operating schedule. Whichever season you are in while watching this video, please start implementing the tasks for that specific time of year. In the spring, when the first warm sunbeams begin to melt the frost, a new production cycle commences. This is the golden window to lay your foundation for the entire year. The number one priority is planting perennials such as comfrey and nettles in the damp corners of your garden. Do not forget to get your tree collard and kale seedlings into the ground so they can take root before the summer heat arrives. Regarding animal protein, this is when you should restart your vermicompost bins as soil temperatures begin to stabilize. Perform a final deep clean of the coop and start laying down a fresh, thick layer of deep litter. Sowing clover seeds at this time will provide a lush green carpet for your chickens to forage by early summer. Remember, spring is the season of investment. The more care you put into your canopy system now, the more effortless your work will be in the coming seasons. Summer is when your solar power plant operates at full capacity. Under the brilliant sunshine, varieties like Azolla and Moringa will grow at lightning speed. Harvest Azolla daily and prune Moringa leaves continuously to stimulate new growth. For your protein system, summer is the prime season for black soldier flies. High temperatures shorten the larval life cycle, providing a massive amount of protein for your flock. Another vital task you must not overlook is taking advantage of the intense sun to dry nettle and comfrey leaves. Processing this reserve leaf meal will guarantee food for your chickens when winter arrives, ensuring they still have enough protein and minerals when the gardens stop being green. As the weather turns to autumn, our objective shifts from providing protein to accumulating energy and fat. This is when you harvest amaranth seeds, the natural grain source in your garden. Let your chickens roam freely through the food forest so they can clean up late-season fallen mulberries and fatty chestnuts. This is also a transition phase for leafy greens. Plant supplemental cold-hardy vegetables like Brussels sprouts, as they need the early chill to become sweeter. A crucial task this season is increasing the thickness of the deep litter. Add plenty of dry leaves and straw to activate the hot composting process, preparing a biological heater beneath the flock's feet before the first frost sweeps in. In winter, when the ground freezes and nature falls into dormancy, the system you laboriously designed will prove its true value. While other farmers struggle with rising feed costs and chickens that stop laying, your flock will remain healthy thanks to your preparation. Your source of greens now comes from kale and tree collards. Protein comes from the dried leaf meal you prepared in the summer and the microorganisms within the hot, deep litter pile. Provide chopped banana stalks or stored root crops like pumpkins to ensure the chickens do not lack water or fiber when the water troughs are frozen solid. The journey towards self-sufficiency in chicken feed is not a task that can be accomplished overnight. My advice is to start very small. Do not try to grow everything all at once. Instead, choose a single plant that best suits your local climate, such as azolla if you have plenty of water, or sweet potatoes if you have open land. When you work in harmony with nature, nature will reward you with healthy flocks and the highest quality eggs. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you found this information helpful, please don't forget to share it. I wish you great success with your own ecosystem. See you again in the next videos.